Hello, my name is Melatonin. I'm Stream DBD, and today I will be reading Reddit stories over DBD gameplay. And I'm warning you right now, the last one, not okay. Stay till the end. Here we go. My boyfriend blames me for a business deal gone wrong because he was rude to me. This comes from relationship advice. My boyfriend Derek owns a bunch of businesses. A few days ago, he wanted to meet with a representative of a restaurant chain in order to acquire one of those stores. Derek invited Alex, the representative, to have dinner with us at a fancy restaurant. Everyone followed COVID protocols where we live. Things were going well, and when Derek left for the bathroom, Alex and I began to talk. Alex told me his family was originally from Russia, and I told him my father trained in the Russian army. When Derek came, I was talking to Alex about good borscht recipe. I don't know what that is, but maybe some soup, I don't know. Derek, for some reason, thought I was annoying Alex and told me Alex came here to talk about business, not some dumb Russian soup. And then said, "Sorry about that, Alex. She talks a lot about useless anecdotes." I got red in the face, and Alex said, "Well, Derek, I care about dumb Russian soup because I'm Russian." Things were really awkward, and long story short, Derek didn't get approved for the franchise, and now he's blaming me for it. I feel really guilty, and I don't know what to do. Ooh, I don't know about that. I feel as though OP isn't in the wrong at all. I think that Derek was being rude and honestly showed his true colors in front of somebody who he wanted to do business with. Here's some relevant comments. Someone said, "Nah, this is all on him for assuming the conversation wasn't going well and that it was you. If he was smart, he should have just joined the convo and found a more natural and less douchey way to move it back to business. Your boyfriend sounds like a dick." Woof. I would agree. I would absolutely agree. Here's an update. After what happened, I started to reflect on our relationship as a whole. I noticed the trend that whenever I tried to talk to someone, Derek would always be hovering over me. Not just business partners, but his family too during events. Also, him insulting me for what I would say was a trend I didn't notice until now. I told Derek about this in a last attempt to salvage our relationship because he still had some redeeming qualities. I told Derek I was thinking of breaking up because he didn't respect me. Derek claimed I wouldn't because I needed his money, and I pointed out that I come from an upper middle class family and I'm studying to become an RN, so I don't need anything from him but his respect. Derek then broke down and told me he grew up seeing his father putting down his mother all the time. Derek said if I don't have my own opinions and I rely on him for everything, I won't ever leave. Apparently that's what his father taught him. I don't know. I broke up with Derek and I blocked him and changed my phone number after he threatened to ruin my life and tell the university awful things about me. Wow, that's crazy behavior from her now ex. Yeah, I think she got a taste of his true colors and finally made her reflect. Good for her. On to the next post. This one comes from Am I the Asshole? My friend invited herself to my vacation and I won't let her stay with me. Already, I feel like she's not the asshole, but let's continue to read. Everyone involved is in their early 40s, female. I recently got divorced and it has been very rough going. I went to therapy and it helped me tremendously. I'm finally starting to feel like my old self. I got off of my rusty dusty, as my grandma would say, hit the gym, reconnected with my friends, and I feel good again. My ex and I used to take frequent vacations, which I enjoyed. There's no reason for me to stop now. So I decided to organize a trip with my friends. I asked 5 of my friends if they wanted to go, and 3 said yes. Diane was one of the ones who said no, as she already scheduled a few vacations and had limited time available. No problem. So I researched and found a 4-bedroom Airbnb. Everyone will have their own room. One friend and I each have the master rooms, 1 bed in each room, and the other 2 friends have a double room, 2 separate beds in each room. Everything is set, flights are booked, and it's 1 month away. We're excited. And that brings us to this weekend. Diane called me and said one of her trips fell through and she now has availability with us to go to our trip. Great. I told her that our host has multiple properties. I'll ask her if she has another one near ours and if she can recommend a hotel that is close to us. Diane got upset and asked why can't she stay with us. I told her all the rooms are taken. She knows this. I was telling her about the trip all along. She then asked why I can't switch rooms with one of my friends and she and I share a double room. I told her that I don't want to. Now, call me selfish, call me mean, call me whatever, but make sure to add that I'm a grown-ass woman who needs her space. I just spent 12 years sharing a room with my ex. I've happily adjusted to being alone. The other ladies are rarely away from their husbands and kids, so they want their space as well. From the very beginning, the decision was that everyone would have their own room. I explained this to Diane. She doesn't get it or doesn't want to get it. She then called my friends, she's friends with them through me, who are going on the trip to see if they will share with her. They all said no and suggested that she get an Airbnb or hotel near us and we'll all hang out together. I just want to state that we are all professional women who make good money, so money isn't the issue here. Diane often travels solo because she doesn't want to negotiate with anyone, her words. She had her own room on the group trip that fell apart. We are not suggesting anything that she has not done previously. So now she isn't talking to any of us. I feel bad that I don't feel bad as much as I should. I've been through enough in the last year. I've just learned how to handle my feelings again. I can't manage hers as well. She knew we had finalized this trip. She knows everyone is looking to get away for their own reasons. We don't want drama, and she is bringing it to us. Am I the asshole for not accommodating her? The verdict was not the asshole, and I completely agree. I think Diane is out of line to ask everyone to inconvenience themselves for her sake. I think if she suddenly has availability, go get a hotel, go do something else. Or if there was 5 bedrooms, that's a different story. Here's an update. I posted over a month ago about my friend who invited herself last minute to my vacation. I want to clear a few things that kept coming up in the comments. When I wrote the post, everything just happened and my frustration showed in my writing. Diane is a good friend of mine. I don't hate her. She could just be a bit much at times. I said that she invited herself because she didn't ask to join us after our plans were finalized. She told us she was coming and expected us to accommodate her. We all specifically wanted our own rooms. The other ladies wanted to enjoy their spouse/kid-free time alone. This was my first vacation in a long time without the ex-hubby, so I just needed some space. I hope you can understand. Now for the update. Although I was voted not the asshole, many commented that maybe I wasn't a good friend. I felt bad about that, so I gave Diane another call to work things out and she answered. She wanted to know why I wouldn't accommodate her, and I told her what I said above. I also reminded her of our previous trips where we roomed together. That took us down memory lane where we talked about all the things we used to get into. It turned into a pleasant hour-long conversation. I discussed why it wouldn't be a good idea for us to share rooms. We just have different travel styles. I like to get up early, walk around, shop. She likes to sleep in and veg out. The last time we shared a room was a disaster. There were a few hiccups on that trip and she complained about it all day. Then again at night when we were in the room. I had no reprieve from the nonstop complaints. She was not always like that. She grew less tolerant over time, as we all, but she took it to an extreme. She said she doesn't complain, she just observes where there can be improvements. We worked it out and the other ladies also made peace with her. Diana and a friend joined our trip and stayed at a nearby property. They were welcome to join us at our pool and other activities. Of course, the beginning was not so smooth sailing. We had our vacation set up where we had 2 days of group excursions. The remaining days we would play it by ear, just agree to meet for dinner. I told Diane she and her friend could join us on the excursions. She complained that they started too early. She went to the first one and complained that each stop was too short, we should have went with a private tour, etc. I pulled her to the side and asked her to stop complaining. To her credit, she stopped until we went to dinner, and then she complained about everything all over again. I suggested that she not join the other excursion as it would be more of the same. She asked if I didn't want her around. I said not for the excursion. So we met for dinner on the other excursion day and hung out on other days. With the exception of the one excursion, it went pretty well. So that's it. Nothing too dramatic, and we managed to stay friends through it. I'm glad they were able to work it out in the end, and I'm glad that, she set her boundary and kept her boundary instead of, letting Diane stay at the Airbnb with her. I'm glad Diane stayed at a different Airbnb. It seems as though they're not too great of friends if Diane complains and OP expresses that she doesn't want Diane to complain and she does it anyway. Seems like Diane's not willing to grow as an individual. In my opinion, I just think Diane sounds like a Karen, but I digress. On to our third and final story. I, 25 female, just found something really disgusting this morning that my boyfriend, 26M, left in the living room. I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years and we've been living together for the past few months. Now, generally, I've come to accept him for being a guy and not cleaning up after himself. First of all, wrong. Anyway, he's got a lot better at it though, so I'll give him that. Anyway, this morning I went downstairs as usual to clean up a bit. And when I went to pick up the remote off the floor, I noticed a white McDonald's cup sitting right next to the chair. Thinking it was just a leftover drink, I went to dump it in the sink, only to realize that there was piss in the cup. I'm not sure how long it's been sitting behind the chair, but it smelled really bad. It was pretty much full with ashes at the bottom. He smokes. I don't really know how to go about talking about this or how to even bring it up. Advice, anyone? The advice is to just break up with this guy. Like, just genuinely. What kind of weirdo does that? Okay, guys, there's actually an update to this crazy story. As soon as he got home from work this morning, I told him that we needed to have a serious conversation. We both sat down and I told him I found the cup he had been pissing in behind the chair, that it was the most disgusting thing I'd ever seen, and I was repulsed that he would actually do something like that when we have a perfectly working bathroom upstairs. He started to actually defend himself as to why he was using it. I tried to stay calm, but I couldn't anymore, and eventually it turned into a heated argument. He stated that the cup was easier to use than going upstairs to use our bathroom, and he usually dumps it in the kitchen sink when he's finished. That right there was a deal breaker for me. This has been going on for quite some time. Upon further inspection, where I originally found the cup, I could clearly see urine stains on the floor. No. I can't continue to live with this sick fuck any longer. I'll be moving my things out today. What? No way. He starts to defend himself. This is just like a case of poor hygiene. What are we doing here? Why are we pissing in cups, let alone a McDonald's cup? Oh. This urine stains on the floor. What do you guys think about this story? Would you end up breaking up with this person? Let me know in the comments. This is only episode 1 of this series. I'm gonna continue to find the craziest stories, the funniest stories, the dramatic stories. Let me know what you want in the comments. If there's a story you want, let me know. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next.